I'm Eric Nasa with Newsshooter.com, and we are at IBC 2019, and I'm with Kevin from Laowa, and you have some really cool stuff to show me.
Right. First of all, this one is a new 25 to 100 Super 35 coverage constant T29 parfocal lens that you guys have covered a little while ago. And I also have my 12mm T29, one of the widest lenses you can find in the market, covering vista vision sensors. But now we have released two new products, two interesting adapters. The first adapter this is a 1.33 times anamorphic rear adapter. What it can do is when it matches with our 25 to 100, it can create a 2-to-1 widescreen anamorphic look in your camera. So it's a rear anamorphic adapter, meaning the image will be very clean. You won't get a lot of unnecessary flare. But also we are also looking to see if we can do something about it and to create some special characters onto the adapters. Maybe something on the coatings, everything. That's what we are working on, and it can partner up with our 25 to 100. And it can also goes with our 12mm lens, and theoretically you can also use it with your prime or with your zoom lens, as long as it won't block the inner elements inside.
Interesting, and it doesn't add, or I guess there's no issues with added chromatic aberrations or any sort of softness on the corners, anything like that?
We have tested it with our 25 to 100 because this anamorphic adapter is specially designed to go with this lens. So there is a very minimal impact on the whole optical performance, but there is an impact on the light passing through the lens, so there will be a half a stop light loss when the adapter is using together with the lens. Right.
And it's going to come in, is it going to have an EF mount as well?
Right. Right now this one is a PL mount. It will come with an EF or PL mount. Right.
Okay. And is there a limitation to what lenses you could use this adapter on?
I think the most important thing is you have to take a look at the inner inner space, because it will easily block the front element. Some of the PL mount lens has like a very protruding rear element, and if it gets blocked, then you can't use it. Right.
Very good. And we have another little adapter here.
This one is an expander. What I mean by expander is, this lens is covers Super 35 sensors. So when it used with this expander, it will convert the Super 35 lens to a full frame lens. So you can use it in a full frame or vista vision sensor. So it's a 1.4 times expander, meaning your whole focal length will have a 1.4 times impact. So it will go from 25 to 100 to 35 to 140, right? And the installation is really easy. You don't need to do any screws removal. You just simply plug the adapter onto the lens, and you're good to go. But you may have another question, like what about the readings on the lens, because it's 25 to 100 most of the time. So we add a little switch here. When you press it and turn it all the way to here, then you do not need to change the focal length ring, the focus ring.
That's very clever.
Yep, there's another good thing. Right, and again, there will be a one-stop light loss when you're using this expander, and theoretically, again, you can use it with other Super 35 lens together with this adapter. Right.
Yeah, I mean, that really makes it super versatile. You're basically getting two lenses in one now.
Right, and right now, if you want to use Super 35 sensor or vista vision sensor, you can just carry it around and you're good to go. You don't need to do a lot of calibration afterwards.
And again, it's not going to add any sort of distortion or chromatic aberration. Those things kind of creep up on adapters.
Right. I'm sure people will be intrigued by the optical performance, but we have tested it, and there's only a very minimal impact on the optical performance. So it's, for me to test it. I'm sure people will be amazed.
And different mounts as well?
It will have PL or EF mount.
Let's talk a little about retail prices and potentially when these are all going to be available. Let's start with the expander here.
These two are currently prototypes. We haven't really set the prices yet, but it won't be very expensive. We're looking at around a few $100s for these kind of adapters, including rear anamorphic adapters as well as the expander.
And when are you hoping to get these to market?
We are expecting to launch it around middle of the next year.
And what about the zoom here? How much is this one going to retail for? And it's available now, correct?
It's not available yet. We are expected to be available in around later this year, but should be priced at around $6,500, right, for this lens. So it's a very affordable and very affordable zoom lens. And this one we are looking at around somewhere between 1,000 to 1,500.
Excellent. Oh, and you also mentioned that you're going to be able to put a filter on here on another version, or is this is still a prototype?
This is still a prototype. The mass production unit, you'll be able to put on filters as well as putting a matte box into it. We're going to include a step-up ring, so you can step up the front diameter to 114, then you can use with standard matte box. We have tested some of the matte box in the market, then you can still use the matte box without any vignetting on a visitor vision sensor.
Now, what's really interesting about this lens, you were saying how very low distortion, and for a wide angle that is full frame, that's pretty rare.
You know, normally in most of the wide-angle lens, which controls distortion pretty well, they exhibit around 3 to 4% distortion, optical distortion. But this one is around 0 point something percent. It's close to zero. So basically, when you're looking at in your camera, you won't be able to see any lines get distorted. Right.
It's really great. This would be awesome for people that are shooting architecture, obviously, and horizons.
Right. It works with a lot of different scenarios. Although it's not a lens that you're going to use it in your whole film, but when you need something like this, when you want to shoot something special, this lens you need to have it permanently in your pocket. Right.
Thanks a lot, Kevin.
Thank you so much.